fear. That'll have you all kind of anxiety riddle. But when you get up in the morning and you bow down and you give glory to the one that gave you breath again, and you sit there and you take a few minutes to pray and thank him, and then meditate on his word, listen to a Bible app, and listen to his word being spoken into your ear, that brings about the presence of God literally going down into you. That's what you're digesting, instead of digesting all of that poison stuff that makes us crazy. He says, when I'm with you, you don't have a reason to fear. When you allow all that other stuff to become your God, then you have no alternative but to walk in fear. Because God's presence, when we internalize God's presence and believe him completely, that he's with us every step of the way, in the good, bad, happy, sad, no matter what, that God is there in every single moment of your life. God is there on the job, off the job, driving the car, flying on a plane. When you know that God is there, you literally can walk this earth in peace. I'm not telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I know. I found that place. Yeah, you might get a little frustrated here and there, like I did when this whole thing glitched out. That's frustrating. Why? Because I don't want to let the people down. I don't want to let God down, and I don't want to let the people down. So that's more frustrating to me than anything, that I promoted this and put it out there for the people to come and eat and dine at the table of God. And then stuff happens, so that's a little frustrating. But even in that minute or two of frustration, I don't let it rob me of my peace. I come right back to my peaceful place. God, you're in charge. That's my peaceful place. You're in charge, God. I have no power over this. If you don't make it happen, then maybe it's not meant to happen. That's my peaceful place. Because God's presence, when we really trust God's presence, fear has no alternative but to loosen its grip on you. It has to let go. When you internalize God's presence, fear has to let you go. It has no other alternative. It's almost like we hold on to fear. It really doesn't hold on to us, because as soon as we make the choice to embrace God's presence fully, fear has to go. It has to let the grip go. So the choice is yours. The choice is mine. That situation you're dealing with right now, it's not bigger than the presence of God in your life. It's not. That's not a cliche. That's the truth. I don't care what you're facing. It's not bigger than God. So turn it over to God. Leave it there. Go to bed tonight. Get yourself some sleep. Get some rest. Get up in the morning and do it all over again. Trust God completely, and God will work it out. That's what Jesus meant when he was saying every day has enough trouble of its own, because sometimes we're so stuck in the past, and we're all the way in the future, and things that haven't even happened yet. And we're fearful of all this stuff. And he's saying, no, stay in the right here, right now, and embrace my presence. And take it like that, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. And you literally can start walking in a life of peace. Fear not, for I am with you. That's the first part of this. See, there's a couple of prerequisites that God he wants us to do, that we have to do in order to access the promises that are at the end of this verse. The first thing is to not walk in fear. Meaning, if we do walk in fear, we forfeit the promises that are at the end of this verse that I'll get to here in a second. Second thing he wants us to do after not walking in fear is to not be dismayed. He says, be not dismayed. Why? Because I am your God. Now, mind you, in terms of the context of this particular text, his original audience was the Jewish people, right? And he was talking to people who were living in a midst of a polytheistic world, meaning everybody had a God for everything. You could create your own God. You could take this bottle of water and turn it into your own God. And you could bow down to it and worship it. So there was gods everywhere, popping up everywhere. And that's why God says, be not dismayed. And this word dismayed means confused. He's saying, don't get it confused. I am your God. Don't be trusting in all that other stuff, because when that stuff lets you down, that's another reason why you walk in fear. Because the stuff you've been trusting in has let you down, because it doesn't have the power to keep you the way that I do.